So disappointing, you guys. Honestly. It's probably the first time I've really been upset on the channel.
We're finally back with a full C10 Slayer burnout episode. It's been a while since we've done an episode roasting the tires or attempting to roast the tires on C10 Slayer. But in this episode, we're gonna try and fast track because we figured out the problem. If you're here for the first time and don't understand maybe what this truck is, C10 Slayer is a tandem axle, full custom build from the ground up. So I mean, you're looking at everything that is hand created. This is a 900 horsepower supercharged LSX. And the cool part is we got with HP tuners, and this thing actually runs on full pump gas. So now we can just go right up to the gas pump, fill it up. It just makes it super nice. It's full reliable, automatic transmission. Just makes it real easy to drive. Let me snap to a few shots of how wild this thing gets with the wheel hop. For you guys returning, understand what I'm talking about, but maybe for someone watching, they have no idea what this looks like. So watch how insane this looks. You can see how wild it is. And the hard part is it's very hard on the truck. Like literally we've broken the tailgate. We've smashed body parts from the vibration. So it's really not a good thing for the truck at all. And when you're looking back here, there's a lot going on. So this is a dual Ford 9-inch. And you can see it's drive shaft in the front. It's a full carbon fiber QA1 drive shaft. And it's coming out the rear. So you have power transfer going from the back of that pumpkin to the front of this one. So the hard part we're trying to figure out is we've messed with shock ratios. We've messed with so many different things on the truck, and we finally narrowed it down. But there's been a lot of performance upgrades and a lot of things we had to repair because of the damage we've been doing. So I'm gonna snap to those shots real quick, but we've had to pull out the rear end, the transmission, and we had to do some upgrades. So let me show you guys what we actually did there, and then we're gonna get right to what the actual problem is. Oh my gosh.
Look how much it's moving. So that's it. Here's what's happening.
Hold on, do that again. It's moving like this too, Dad.
Oh. Yeah, but the whole thing is moving. But here's why. See how it's rotating back and forth?
That is freaking it.
So if it's an 1/8 inch here, it could be an inch out there. So what's happening is that bearing is tapered. So when it moves out of 1/8 inch, it becomes sloppy in the race.
Why is it moving like that?
I don't know. The axle moves in and out 1/8 of an inch on both sides.
Yeah, I saw the 3 emails you sent me.
What's your thought?
It's an aftermarket problem. That's not what I sent you. You bought some kind of disc brake stuff and it changed everything. I can't tell what that aftermarket stuff is. I've never seen that setup before. It ties in with a bearing retainer.
So what he's just not saying is that's not what he supplied on the rear end. And keep in mind, this rear end went straight from him to Scott's Hot Rod. So the next call is going to be to Scott's Hot Rod to figure out what they had to change to adapt all the 4 piston brakes. And that's why it was changed. So again, it's no one's fault. We're just trying to trace down exactly what we need to do to fix the problem. So what we decided is we're gonna pull out the first Ford 9-inch of the tandem axle and send it back to the guy that actually made it, just to double check the internals. And then he has a certain plating system that he's gonna set up for the bearings. We're used to all floating hubs and on our race car, so it's just much different. And we might as well just let the guy that built it, the expert himself, remake it right. So what we're gonna do in the meantime is we're gonna pull out the transmission because we wanna do a full manual valve body. What we keep seeing is when we're doing burnouts and stuff, it keeps upshifting on its own because it's a 4L80. And ATD is gonna go through and remachine the whole valve body. So when we shift it, it forces it to shift. That way we could hold it in like a first or second gear.
What's up guys, Mike at Automatic Transmission Design, Germantown, Wisconsin. We got the 4L80 trans back from DeBerti out of the C10 Slayer, here for some quick upgrades. What we're going to be doing today is pulling the automatic shifting valve body out of this thing and putting in a 100% billet aluminum reverse manual valve body. We design and produce these in-house out of domestic bar stock and cut them on our Haas CNC machines. What this is going to let Doug and Brad do is put this thing in whatever gear they want and keep it there until they're ready to shift it. After we knock this thing apart, we're going to take it across the shop, put it on our dyno, and show you guys how it all works. We got the DeBerti C10 Slayer 4L80 off the bench on the dyno, ready to test it out. We're going to be looking at a couple things. Obviously, we want to make sure that we got reverse, first, second, third, fourth gear. We're checking for converter lockup. On the gauges up here, we're going to be looking at trans line pressure. The Sonoflow is going to be measuring the cooler flow through, and you can see as we shift through the gears how those things all change. Some of the others will check some various pressures, but we're going to function test this thing out, make sure when Doug and Brad get this thing back that it's flawless, ready to go. We're in reverse gear here. You can see right off the bat we got just about 200 pounds of line pressure. Nice good pressure. All right, we're in first gear. Second. Third. Fourth. And you can see the Sonoflow number went up. That's because the converter is fully locked up and we got great efficiency through the converter. 4-3 downshift. 3-2 downshift. 2-1 downshift. All right, made it off the dyno. Thing works perfect just as we expected. Ready for them to beat it up in the truck.
So you guys seen those clips. Again, you probably know exactly why we pulled out the rear end, because all that crazy slop. You're probably wondering why we pulled out the ATD 4L80, and we had a little bit of a problem, and that's what's cool with just knowing these guys, because they could make everything right in house. So I'll have my dad explain. Pops, why did we pull out that transmission?
What we did is we tried to get the computer to talk with the transmission. The problem we had is there's a little bit of lag when you shift every time you do a burnout. They machine this billet valve body, and what it does is it reverses the pattern in the shifting. So before, when we pulled our lever, we're down first, second, third, fourth. Now, with their new valve body, we go first, second, third, fourth. And it's like having a transmission now with no clutch. It's instant. So when you're in first gear, as soon as you slap it into second gear, you're whoop! I mean, the tires will just keep on smoking. As fast as you can shift it, as fast as those tires are just going to keep building speed, and before you know it, you got to be careful because you're doing probably 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you know, when I raced the Pro Lights, they built all the Turbo 400s, and the same exact thing. It's basically they're making the transmission go from an automatic, which automatics, you know, if you're not in the race industry, they're perfect. But when you're racing and need a certain RPM at a certain time, and when you shift that thing, you want it to hit at the exact time you shift. So that's the whole point of what we've been through, and now I can't wait to drive it because it's going to be a whole different animal, because when we actually shift it, it's going to shift right when we do it. Why don't we jump right into right when we got all these parts back, we take it right outside right here, and you guys see what happens.
This is going to be the first drive in a long time. We're just going to drive it, go through the gears, make sure that the trans fluid is fully topped off. I want to feel how hard it actually shifts.
Oh, let's go see Mike.
Trans is fully rebuilt. We don't know if there's still an issue, but
So you gonna rip it?
We were wondering if you want us to rip it in your parking lot again.
Okay, you can straighten out those lines from the board.
It was painful before, huh?
Well, it's a little bouncy.
yeah, I caught the end of it, but
Front was doing it?
oh yeah, friggin' both of them jumping everywhere.
All right.
They're
Thanks.
both friggin' doing it. I mean, what'd you see?
Unhappiness.
So disappointing, you guys. Honestly, it's probably the first time I've really been upset on the channel. So in that clip, obviously you could tell it's just frustrating because at this point we've done so many things. It could only be two things from this point forward. The first thing is the Michelin Pilot Sports that we have on there are literally built for cup cars. And the temperature zone on those tires, the hotter they get, the more they grip. So what we're gonna do, what you're about to see, is we are going to rob the wheels and tires off the drift truck, which these are BFGs. And this compound, the G4 Sports, these are Comp 2s. And what I like about these and why I have them on both the Tacoma and this truck is the temperature zone is once they get to a certain point, it levels off and it doesn't keep creating the grip. And with 4 tires on the C10, it's just creating too much. So we're gonna try that. The second thing that we could have a problem with is the offset of the wheel. When you guys watch that video, the wheels literally are doing this. And what another potential issue that my dad and I have thought of is the offset of the wheel is so far that once it starts gripping, it throws the wheel literally into an unbalance. So we'll see what these wheels and tires do, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, you had no wheel hop. Zero, there was absolutely zero wheel hop. How'd you like it, Mom?
It was just, I don't know, kind of was annoying.
She said it was annoying.
Why was it annoying?
It just was. It was just too much. Stupid.
I don't know. I just, remember what I said a long time ago? That maybe the offset is too far out and the outside of the tire is catching it. There wasn't no wheel hop.
Well, I mean, we can't leave it look like Christmas and crap, so, you know. Wow, I mean, you guys just seen it right there. I mean, there was absolutely no wheel hop. I mean, it acted like how it should act, so. In my mind, there's 3 things. The offset's too wide. The wheel could have an extreme unbalance at high RPM, or the tire is just so grippy and so wide that it's just making the wheel do some crazy stuff, so.
Well, they got another tire that's not it's a sticky tire. Maybe our tires are just too sticky.
I just asked Dad, I'm like, well, it didn't wheel hop. Isn't that a great thing?
Yeah, it's a great thing, except we got all these wheels done, and then we see all them sticky tires. So I'm just looking at it like, I don't know how much money is sitting there. Probably $10,000 in tires and $15,000 in rims. Well, right now these are a 13-inch wheel with a 4-inch back spacing. So what we'll probably do, what that means is this is offset here, obviously, because we want that cool depth look.
Yeah, see, the depth on this is what we loved about this wheel.
But I'm thinking what it is these things are so big that maybe it's just getting so hot here, it's catching, and it's just, I don't know. This makes my head hurt.
All right, so all that is out the window. It finally worked with the drift truck wheels and tires. So my Pops is working right here on the bench, and we are going to show you our solution. All this has been on back order. That's why this video has taken so long. So let me show you guys what we're looking at. Pops, what do we got?
Well, here's what I love about a 3-piece wheel. Whenever we build cars, we're always trying to get the tire right to the edge of where we're gonna be on the car, front and rear on the side fenders. So with a 3-piece wheel, what people don't understand is spend a little more money, because worst case is if you do mess up on your offset, you could change it. So all you do is you take the center of the wheel out, which this is a nice, beautiful billet from Govad.
By the way, we've already unbolted all this, so
Yeah.
just so everyone knows.
And what you do is you split the hoops. So in this case, let's say your ram is too far in and you want it to go out. Well, it's real simple. What you do is you shorten this hoop an inch and you elongate this hoop an inch, and that'll change your offset an inch. or ½ inch. Most of these 3-piece wheel hoops come in ½ inch increments. So on this one, what we're gonna do, we need to get rid of 1 inch to get the wheel more centered.
And tell them why we're wanting to center the wheel.
So we've got so much tire that what's happening is, as it gets hotter, it gets sticky, and that 4,000 RPM is perfect. We do a smoke show all day long. But as soon as we get above 4,000, it just starts getting radical. And the rim's doing this because the tire is biting more on the outside now, and it's just free spinning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna center more of the offset. So basically, we're going from this wheel hoop to this wheel hoop. So as you can see, we're only about 1 inch difference, and we're hoping 1 inch is gonna take care of it. Not only that, we're going from a tire.
Look at the width difference, you guys. Like, the width of this compared to the width of this is not even, it's
about 1.5 inches.
crazy.
But what we have, this is a tire that is made to race. And like Brad was saying earlier, the hotter it gets, this thing gums up and gets sticky. So as this gets sticky, and then this is hanging out here, it just throws it so far off balance that, I mean, you've seen in the video, the rim is just getting crazy. How it hasn't broke, I don't know. Now we're going to an actual tire that they set up for an SUV, which this is an awesome tire. And as crazy it sounds, for the C10 Slayer, the hotter it gets and the more rubber that goes away, it actually starts breaking down, and we're gonna be able to spin it at these high RPM, 6,000-7,000.
Oh, we want to be hitting that rev. So we're going from the race Michelin tire, which, I mean, this is an incredible tire, you guys. Like, I mean, these you see on a lot of different cars. So the Pilot Sport Cup 2s, we're going from those, and then we are going straight to the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 SUV. And one thing that I enjoy about looking at these tires is you can see how much rubber is here. Look at all the grooves in here. So this is gonna be less tire on the ground, and we're actually narrowing the tires. So it's a much narrower footprint that we'll be putting down. So anyway, let me hit to some time lapses, and we're going to put these together. We've already assembled one wheel. This is how the wheel used to be. This is with the new hoop, and you can see the height difference there. So I'll have my dad move it over a little bit. So you can see it's not like an insane amount, but it's the tire that's gonna be the big kicker. So let's get all these changed, and then we'll throw them on C10 Slayer, and we're gonna go shred this bad boy.
24 hours later.
24 hours later, literally 24 hours, we got all the wheels and tires mounted. What I'm gonna do right now is, because we changed the transmission from the automatic valve body to the manual, we have actually got to get in the computer. We're gonna open up HP Tuners. Alex with Pipes Performance, he's actually gonna go through and retune this thing right now. So let me pull up the computer. We're gonna do some test runs outside, do some data logging. And that's, again, what's cool about having the HP Tuners in this truck is with the factory computer, he's gonna go through and completely adjust everything. So let me get Alex on the computer and let's go drive this thing around.
Where are you, Alex?
Dubai.
He says it, no problem. All right, hold on. I'm gonna plug you into the truck right as we speak.
This is what's so cool about HP Tuners. You could be in Dubai. I don't even know. How far is Dubai?
It's a long way.
And he's gonna retune our truck from Dubai. Now, how cool is that?
Basically, bank 2 O2 sensor seems to be dead. Now, whether that be because maybe what I see sometimes is like the pin is coming out of the back of the connector, that or the O2 sensor has just failed. Usually it's not the ECU itself. Usually it's going to be a bad sensor wire issue or something, like, you know, hard to say exactly. But that 450 millivolts where it's just fixed at that millivolt, that means basically that it's just not working. When I forced closed loop, bank 1 started switching like it's supposed to, and it's running like perfect. Yeah, without closed loop being active, it's going to a default fueling strategy that's just not yeah, it's just gonna make it run poorly. This thing needs closed loop, needs all the help it can get, especially idle and off idle, part throttle. So that's one issue. I don't know if that's causing all of your issues, but you know, step one, getting that O2 sensor to switch and do its thing, is gonna help tremendously.
All right, so we got the whole center console off. What Alex is saying is he's not seeing the O2 read, and what keeps happening is it's pushing everything to one side of the readings of just how the computer works. Again, Alex is really smart. I'm not. Oh, did we get it? So we actually crossed it to this one right here. We're going with a Delco. And
Denso.
Or Denso, and then this one, what was this one?
That one is a Bosch.
A Bosch. So we're
But
going.
we were told never to buy Bosch.
Yeah. This is the old one. You can see kind of how it looks. This is the new one. This is a Bosch. Everyone, including Alex, said do not get the Bosch. So we ended up going with these Denzos. We were gonna do an AC Delco, but they didn't have them. So let's throw these in, get back on the phone with Alex. What changes did you make?
I was throwing some transmission codes, which I may have shut off in the later tune, but I just reshut those off, and then I adjusted the throttle percentage enable for power enrichment down a little bit more, and also added timing about 2 degrees in the higher load, lower RPM ranges.
So right now, Alex is going through the charting, as you can see on the right side. So this is what's important about HP tuners, is he's going through and adjusting everything literally as the truck is idling right now in Dubai. He told me, hold on a second, we're gonna do another test, but he added some timing and did a bunch of different things. So he's just telling me he's ready to go. Alex, you good to go?
Oh, no more freaking wheel hop! Yes!
All right, good buddy. We'll get some sleep. Thank
Yeah.
you for calling in from Dubai.
Thank you, Alex, so much.
Yeah, no problem.
You're the
All right,
man.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. See ya.
All right, take care.
I'm just blown away. Old guy like me cannot figure out how he just tuned a 65 Chevy truck, and he's in Dubai, and it's 11:30 at night.
It's fucking. Well, that's just what's cool.
HP Tuners has it going on. That's all I can say.
Well, honestly, for people that don't, I mean, people probably see us post about HP tuners and stuff, and the whole point is like my dad just said, you know, back in the day, how you would tune is you would have to have the person, you know, that knows the computer be in the passenger seat, either on the dyno or at the racetrack or whatever it is. What was cool with what we just did with Alex is Alex, literally, he's in Dubai right now. He travels the country teaching people how to use HP tuners, and HP tuners is a program that links to factory ECM. So this is a factory GM computer, and he just went through there in their program and fully changed everything. I mean, he shut off our transmission from automatic to manual. He went through, added timing. He went through and what else did he add? He changed all kinds. I'm like, timing. I was looking at some of the stuff, and he's like, it's just probably easier if I don't explain, because his brain's like on a whole different planet. But anyway, everything's ready to go.
I'm ready. You ready? Yeah.
That's probably good.
Hey, look,
I'm just frustrated.
buddy, we're 80, 90% better. 80, 90%, but there literally is only one thing left. Because we've done everything, and I thought for sure this was going to be it, but I'm happy. At least we got to do a hell of a smoke show.
Well, what do you think's left? I mean, we've done.
Well, the only other
everything.
thing I could think it could be, because we're so wide on our axle, so now we got from right here, the center, to basically up here, okay? So this axle's right here. So the only other thing I can think of is when this thing gets hot and grippy, it might be taking the axle here and bowing it maybe just a little bit. And if it bowed it even a 1/16 of an inch, which it shouldn't really bow, but
Like you're talking about the center of the axle?
the center of the axle, if the center of the axle moves a little bit, by the time it gets out to the outer, you know, it's going to kiss the tire because the tires don't grow.
Yeah.
I mean, these tires are made so there's no heat spots. So no matter what RPM you turn these, the center won't grow. But when you watch the footage, it's doing this. It's rotating, and it's only on that rear axle. So I'm actually excited, and I'm mad. But you know what? I get to do it with you. It's fun. This is.
No, I mean, it is a blast. I guess honestly, guys, I'm just at the point, like, I'm just kind of burnt out. Because we've literally done everything. And I just hate that we keep making videos and they, you know, they just have an ending of failure. But that's where we're at right now. And this was a longer video. We've changed the transmission. We've, you know, sent the rear end back. We thought that was it. We changed the outer hoops on the wheels, thinking that it was an offset. We've changed the tire, the footprint. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I would say, I agree with my dad. We're 80% there. I mean, it's night and day. The changes we did make were in the right direction. I think we have different compounds and of tires we could choose, but man, I just want to take this thing to events and just literally bring like 20 sets of tires and just roast them off with you guys. But at this point right now, we're not there. So.
Hey, you know what, Raz, look. At least we got another 500 RPM. At 4,500 RPM, we could do some slide smoke shows, no chatter. We got 2,000 more RPM to fix the wheel hop, and then we're golden. But for right now, at least we got to do a smoke show, and I got some smoke on me.
Oh, realistically, you guys, we should just be enjoying the truck, just driving it. I mean, this is, again, it's a creation that my pops and I built together, and we should just be out enjoying it, not, you know, being so stressed out about just doing burnouts all the time. But I guess in my mind, you know, it's like, I just want to burn the tires off. So we end 50-50, failure and accomplishment.
Brad,
What?
there's one other thing we didn't try.
What?
We have the suspension all the way down on the rear, so it's throwing our drive angle.
Oh, maybe
Straight.
try and lift it?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right. Well, so our suspension is all the way down. So we're gonna change the pinion angle by actually lifting the truck with the shock. So let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. I didn't see any wheel hop. No wheel hop. All right, go back and give it some RPM in the beginning.
All right, so far, you guys, no wheel hop.
All right, keep going. All right. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it worked! It worked! Are you serious? It worked! Yeah! Yeah! Oh my gosh, it worked! Oh my gosh! It worked!
The angle of the dangle.
It worked! Look at all the tire rubber, you guys! Oh my gosh! It worked! Wait, why did that change it that much?
Just
because our driveline angle on the front was too straight. I needed to get that thing pitched.
there was 0 wheel hop.
Yeah, we raised it 4 inches. Smoke.
Oh my gosh, look at the marks, dude.
That was no wheel hop.
That freaking did it. How did that do it?
It's because the driveline was too straight.
Well, you have 2 things. You have the drive line, and then
Oh
you
my God.
have the pinion angle that completely changes too. Hey, hey, dude. Hey, the thing grips so much. Like when you go, it like launches the truck.
The thing was,
We are excited, you guys.
Did you use the rev limiter?
Oh, it
The
tapped the
rev
rev.
limiter was pitching.
I
had
know.
to pull down.
Oh, I
had to
know.
close.
Look, my
Come
dad's.
on.
He's all amped right now. All I know, guys, is 100% this works. We are not in the area to do this. Again, when my dad hooks up, you guys just seen in the video, he flies. So I am just so excited right now. It went from me being bummed literally like 2 minutes ago to me being completely excited. So you guys, thank you for watching. Really where we need to get this truck is somewhere in the open where we can start doing donuts and really just like playing with it. So that's where we're at. But all I know is everything that we've tried, everything we did worked. And I'm so glad my dad thought of that last thing, because I tell you what, you guys, I'm a very positive person, and I hate ending the episodes like on just a bad note. So this has ended on a good note. You guys have a blessed day. Wait for the next episodes, and next time we're taking the truck on a big open pad, and we're gonna do some donuts and really get some smoke going. Later.